Welcome to Unearthed, presented by Juice's Arthropods. We interview invertebrate influencers, bug breeders, and humble hobbyists to uncover the best answers to questions they never thought they'd get asked. Tonight, our very first guest is Season 17 America's Got Talent contestant, invertebrate YouTuber, and friend of the show, Shanae, aka Slightly Venomous. And now, let me introduce the host of Unearthed, Juice.
Welcome, everybody. My name is Juice from Juice's Arthropods, and I'm very excited tonight to talk to you about Unearthed, our new podcast and YouTube extravaganza, which is sole purpose is to get to have you introduced to some people that you might not know in the hobby, get to learn a little bit more about them, and ultimately unearth some questions they never thought they'd ask. But first and foremost, let's introduce Hot Doug as my always awesome extreme bug novice and co-host. There you go, Doug.
Hello. Good evening, Juice. Thank you for having all of us on your new show, Unearthed, which is debuting on Earth Day, a thing that we totally planned to do.
Absolutely, Hot Doug. This was totally intentional. You are not hearing about this the first time today. 100% planned it from the start. Very happy.
Awesome. And let's introduce our guest.
Absolutely. Let's introduce the famous Shanae, or Slightly Venomous. Please introduce yourself for the guest tonight.
Hey everyone, I am Shanae. I go by Slightly Venomous on the internet. I am a bug YouTuber and I guess you could say influencer if you so desire. I create content about bugs, arachnids, just cool critters that I love and adore. And yes, I did grace the television land of Season 17 of America's Got Talent, where I brought cockroaches onto the show. So, fun fact.
I think that's actually, I want, the first question I have obviously is how we know each other, but I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think cockroaches were ultimately the thing that we kind of had in common, but please, how do we know each other, Shanae?
Yes, that's a great question. How do we know each other? So we know each other through Instagram. It all started when I think you followed me, Juice, and I post a lot of stories on Instagram. Someone who I can just like share my bug pictures for youth, so that built how we became friends.
Yes, and we apologize tonight. Some technical issues we have been having.
I think that's pretty much.
I'm so sorry, Shanae. Yeah, we're having some technical issues on this side. Looks like some internet problems, but no,
it's all good. I can entertain all day.
Perfect. And so that's awesome, because I know that you and I have on multiple occasions we've connected and we've been sharing pictures back and forth of bugs, and you'll sometimes send me like, do you have these? And I'm like, I don't yet, but I'm trying. So
yes, and I'll send you like weird sketchy like listings of bugs, like, can you get this and breed it? Like, is this gonna be a thing? Can we bring this to the world type vibes? So I'm always trying to encourage you to bring the weird creepy crawlies to the world to be sold to people. So we get each other.
Yeah, and I think I failed you a couple times. I'm not gonna lie. I'm still looking for giant weevils. I got some. I know. I'm trying. I don't know why they're so hard to find, but like everybody I've found, it's almost like a black market dealer that's just like they open up a trench coat. Like, I don't know if I trust you.
Yes, I want weevils so bad. Like, they are not a thing, and they need to be.
And I want to ask this next question a little bit differently, because what I want to do is, I mean, we're going to spend a long time on obviously how people can find you, follow you. Yeah. My next question ultimately I wanted to ask you is, and this is not anywhere, what made you get into bugs? Like your story is
Mhm.
awesome, and I just want to share that with everybody.
Yeah, I have a fun story. So it all started at the Natural History Museum in LA. So sorry, this story's a little long, so forgive me,
It's
but
okay.
I'll try to like expedite it. So I went to the Natural History Museum one day and I was just going to look at like the cool dinosaurs, stuff like that. And they were like, when I was buying my ticket, they were like, "Oh, do you want to add on the $8 spider exhibit?" And I was like, "No, thanks. That's weird." So I go about doing my thing. I'm looking at the dinosaurs and I'm kind of thinking about this $8 like spider exhibit. Like, what could this be? So I go back and I end up buying tickets to the $8 spider exhibit, right? And I'm thinking like it's probably gonna be like enclosures. We're gonna see a lot of cool enclosures with like tarantulas. I knew about tarantulas. I was very aware of tarantulas. Just like I was thinking I was gonna see stuff like that, some cool like enclosures, things like that, right? No, wrong. So when you enter this exhibit, it's just a giant greenhouse. And there's these huge, giant Malaysian orb weavers, which, if you're not familiar with Malaysian orb weavers, they are like the size of my hand, if not bigger. They are huge. And they are just free. They are just free in this giant greenhouse. And you just go in, and I remember like finding this out like 5 seconds before entering the exhibit. I was just like, okay, cool. So they're just free. Okay, yeah, that's fine. That's fine. But I was freaking out, right? Like it's freaky. Like if you don't have any interest, any exposure to these types of things, it's really freaky, that idea. But I enter it, I go in, I see these huge Malaysian orb weavers. They are giant, and they also had green lynx spiders, which I adore. They had green
Love
lynx
those.
spiders in there. Love green lynx. They had the green lynx and they had the Malaysian orb weavers, and they were just out. And I something happened to me to where I was just like mesmerized. Like I was amazed. I was taking pictures, I was taking videos. I was just like, "Oh my god, this is so amazingly cool." And I was not expecting to feel that way because I had never felt that way before. And this was about 5 years ago. And I just saw these spiders and I was just so amazed and so mesmerized. And I just couldn't believe how big they were, how beautiful and intricate their webbing was, just how their body structure was. Everything just totally amazed me. And so the whole ride home, I was just looking up how can I keep spiders? What spiders can I keep? And I fell into Exotic's lair, which we've all been
Mhm.
there, right?
Yep.
And he introduced us to tarantulas. He's a main tarantula keeper. And because at the time, you kind of have to know what you're doing to find things like orb weavers or green lynx spiders. So
For
I
sure.
found tarantulas, and I debated for quite a while. I remember looking at photos and feeling like this sensation of like heebie-jeebies, just like the goosebumps, because I wasn't like I wasn't sure if I was ready. Like I watched so many videos, I did so much research, and then I think about like 6 months in, I finally made the plunge and I purchased my first couple tarantulas. And it kind of all just snowballed from there. I just, it's really easy to continue to get into more and more critters. And I actually found that I love tarantulas still, but I've kind of moved forward from tarantulas to where they're not like my main thing that I keep. I still love and adore them, and they're always going to be like my gateway thing, my gateway critter. So, but then I just kind of snowballed into all kinds of stuff. But that's my story about how I met this hobby, and I think it's kind of fun.
It's an amazing story because one, I'm jealous, and I think we've talked at length. How, at some point, I have to go down and see this place because I've always wanted to go to a place that just has spiders all over.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
amazing and terrifying and just fulfilling. It's
Oh,
amazing.
absolutely. Now we know, and actually, I should ask, Hot Doug, like, do you want to go to this, or what would your take be if you had to go to a place as a novice bug person? What would your first take be?
Hmm. Um, at this point, I think having known you and been more exposed to all the bugs and the arthropods and the hobby, if you will, I'm probably more chill with it than I was about a year ago.
Yeah, it
Um,
sneaks up on you, right?
but at the same time, There's a good reason I haven't been in your home, and I know that there's hundreds of spiders loose on the ceiling, which is kind of the same thing, but it's a way cheaper for me to go to your house than the Cal Sciences, though. So maybe I'll dip my toe in there.
Yeah,
maybe that's what I should do.
He's referring to cellar spiders. I breed things, and like fruit flies and fungus gnats are just a part of the job. And so they're basically like my coworkers. They keep track, like they just eat all the fruit fly problems. And then I mentioned this to him, and he did not like that at all. He was very skeptical.
Now, wait 1 second. I do want to get Shanae's input or insight on the cellar spider daddy longlegs debate. Where do you fall on that? Are they daddy longlegs? Do you respect the term daddy longlegs as a spider name?
Well, okay, it's a controversial thing because I understand that daddy longlegs are technically harvestman spider, or sorry, they're not spiders. Oh my gosh. I just spoke. They are harvestmen. So technically they are not spiders. So the cellar spiders that we see, I mean, I grew up calling them daddy longlegs, but I do recognize and acknowledge that that is incorrect terminology.
Thank you. Incorrect. Thank you for settling that debate
right
for
in
me.
my heart.
I'm so sorry, like Doug.
It's okay. It's okay. I'll live.
Yeah, I'll get over it. Okay, Shanae, you know my least favorite vertebrate, or invertebrate rather, and you did not enjoy that because you have uwu and all them.
Is this centipedes?
Centipede, indeed. Yeah. So what I want to know is, like, everybody has at least one. Like, what is your least favorite invertebrate and why?
It's got to be mosquitoes.
Yeah, okay. That's fair.
They spread disease and they hurt and they make you itchy and it's just not a vibe. So I'm going to have to go with mosquitoes.
Yeah. I always... That's such a cheating one, though. Okay, let's say you can't get rid of ticks and you can't get rid of mosquito. Is there a... I know you're so passionate about invertebrates in general, and maybe if you don't want to like offend Big Bug or anything like that, it's fine. But like, what would you pick if you couldn't get rid of mosquitoes or ticks? What would be like your third least favorite on the list?
Oh gosh, that is so hard. I love them all so much. It's like it's the disease spreading things that really get to me. Yeah. I don't know if I can give you a solid answer on that. I just adore most inverts. I mean, I want to say like the toe biter because they can fly, swim, and walk on land, and they're venomous and have an extreme bite. But I've kept them and I love them. But for the sake of other people, for the sake of others, I'm going to say the toe biter.
They okay, Hot Dog, do you know what this is? The toe biter?
Not at all. Never heard of it. Please enlighten us all. The toe biter. This is a friend.
Friend is. What is it? What is the actual? I don't know what the I don't know what the Latin name is.
Yeah, we'd have to look that up.
I think it's like the Asian giant water beetle.
Yeah, giant water bug.
Yeah, just Google that.
Google it, and you'll be
just Google it real quick, Hot Dog, and tell me. Okay, imagine if you will. Have you seen my video on the Horrid King Assassin Bug, or have we talked about the Horrid King Assassin Bug?
Who, me?
Yes, you. Yeah, I
thought I was Googling.
Not me.
Well, you can do both things.
No, I can't, and you know that.
Yeah, that's true. My bad. He can't do both things. So, okay, imagine if you will.
Tell me more.
A creature that can swim flawlessly. I mean, it's an underwater creature. It has a giant rostrum that's like a little stabby thing. Now, I will say, like I don't know if it can puncture your skin, but it tries at least.
I've heard it's extremely painful.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, so it can. I think it just has you have to be like in a bad position, and then it can. So the rostrum, it like sticks into you. But the problem is that it's huge. It's like the size of your hand, and it can fly. Like, so when it's just like, I'm done with this water, I can't
fly.
And
it fly amazingly. It's not like...
So it can just go right from different modality from water to air.
Well, yeah,
I don't like that.
It's like amphibious and aerial simultaneously. Like, and it's got a giant syringe for a face, so it's pretty
with
awesome.
Venom. A nice packing venom as well.
And this is your favorite one. I mean, it's definitely the most featureful of
I would say
the
it's the
invertebrates
one I
I
would
can think of.
eliminate. I would
Yeah.
eliminate it
Oh,
for
the
the
one you
sake
would
of
eliminate.
others. For the
Yeah.
I
sake of
see. I
others.
see. I see.
To be
I've got you
nice.
now. Okay. Wow.
So while
I'm gonna
hot,
look. I'm gonna look these up off screen. One sec.
Please, please do.
while hot dog's crying in a corner, what if you could wave Shanae, if we could wave a magic wand,
Uh-huh.
like what would you be doing full time? Like if you never had to work your job ever again, what would you do full time?
Oh, I would be totally sharing content about my critters full time, hands down. Like, I love making YouTube videos, and I would do that for free. Like, I make negligible amount off of YouTube, just barely enough to feed the animals. But
Okay.
I would do that full time. I love making content. I'm so into this hobby and so passionate about it, and just like sharing it with other people makes me so happy. And just like the amount of people that tell me that I've inspired them to be less scared of spiders or bugs or, whatever it may be, just that motivates me and makes me feel so good. I would just do that 24/7. I would just keep critters. I'm not into breeding. I've tried to like dabble in that, and it's not my jam. I leave that to Juice. But I would just share content like all the time would be what I would do full time. I would do that forever, and I would be so happy. I think that's pretty much what I would do. I
No,
mean that, and like maybe like if money wasn't an option, I would have like some type of facility where I could like facilitate people like seeing and like meeting these animals in person. I think
I
that would
feel
be
like
awesome.
I feel like over the next couple years, that should be a goal that you and I should keep in mind at some point because I feel like
Yes.
that's a very easily attainable goal. Like there's no way there's not grants or something. And if anyone watching knows any way that we could make that a reality for Shanae, because like I know several people that are in they're educators that get grants specifically to teach like kids and everything. So
Mhm.
I know there's a person that I think they're watching. So if you are watching, please ping me the details because I would love to send it over to Shanae because it's
That would
I
be
feel like
amazing.
there's a thing that people don't realize about invertebrate breeders, hobbyists, even entomologists. I think they might think that like it's a completely sustainable career where you can live well off of it. And it's
Oh.
no, like it's unless there's like what 4 people that are making real money off of it. It's like tarantula cat, bugs in cyberspace, exotic layer, and dark den. I think those
Yeah,
are the
right.
only people.
Who are making a living, right?
Yeah,
And
exactly.
yeah, and they don't live in California where it's extremely expensive.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Right.
even bugs in cyberspace. He was living in Oregon, and then he moved to Arizona because
Yeah.
it's just like your cost of living is insane out in California. So I think everyone should give a shout out to people like Shanae who can actually continue doing this in California. There's not enough West Coast representation at all as far as that
Yeah,
goes. So
because it's
uh,
tough.
yeah, for sure. So Shanae, what is a little known fact about you that you would like to share with your audience and listeners?
So, fun fact, and my people, my viewers might know this, but I do dabble in acting a little bit, and I have acted in a few short films, and I have also provided bugs for a few short films. There's a 48-hour film festival we have here. It's actually nationwide, but we participate here in California. And I actually provided bugs for several short films for that festival. One we did was called Stop Bugging Me, which is like really fun bug. And I provided cockroaches and a vinegaroon and a few mantises for that. So I do a little acting. I took class for a while. I went to performing arts school through middle school and high school as well. So I do dabble in acting, and I also dabble in bringing bugs into my acting type thing. So yeah, that might be a fun fact that people might not know.
That is really awesome. And in fact, I apologize. I don't remember the name of the movie, but there's a really cool thing that you shared at one point where you're wearing like barbarian face makeup or
Yeah,
something. And it was like, this is the coolest thing I've ever. Because who are you holding?
that was
Which bug are you holding?
Bubbles. Rest in peace. He was an Aphonopelma calcodes mature male.
You are the person, by the way, not to get sidetracked on this, but the Aphonopelma species or genus,
Yeah.
genus. The Aphonopelma genus is one of those ones that I had not ever had
Oh
any experience
yeah,
with. And then you gave me turkey leg,
I
and
did give you
turkey
turkey
leg,
leg.
what a cool, just they're so interesting. I feel like they're severely like I just don't feel like people appreciate them enough, being that they're from California, and I think most of Californians have seen some of Phonopelma species like all of the time. Like they're all over the place. At least here in East Bay, I'm sure down where you're at, they're all over the place as well. But they're such a cool creature, and so yeah, I appreciate you for turning me on to this particular one because it was just like I got it. I was like, I don't really, like everybody would talk about them, and I'm like, I don't know, they're fine. They're just like a brown tarantula, and then their personality is awesome. So yeah,
Yeah.
thank you for that.
They are
Um,
so docile and they're just so chill and they have great personalities and yeah, they're brown spiders, but they are amazing. And I want to thank Micro Wilderness for bringing them to the hobby because Nate really did a good job bringing them into the hobby. But they are just amazing tarantulas to keep. So if you, and I know people think of Phonopelma calcodes, the Arizona blonde, and
yeah.
they are kind of, they're kind of like very popular. You can find them at most, reptile stores, things like that. But there are so many other Phonopelma, and it's really worth taking a look into.
Oh, it 100% is. By the way, Nate, right? I think is his name
Yeah,
from Micro. That guy is so cool. I met him.
so cool.
I met him. I don't even remember what expo it was. When you meet some of these, there's like a very, as you might know, like when you go to any kind of expo, you meet these like reptile people that sell invertebrates, and so once you meet invertebrate specific people, you immediately know your people because like you meet
Yeah.
them and they're like, you ask them a question and they know the answers to the question. You're like,
Mhm.
you're a bug guy. Yeah, we understand
Yeah.
each other. So it was very cool, and I got to meet him. So yeah, absolutely shout out to him as well.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have a couple more questions, then we want to get into a Q&A with the listeners. You you have a very not unique, but you are unique in the fact that this is a very, I don't want to say male dominated industry, but
It
it is, right? You have a like you were going to have a completely unique experience from me or any of the like bugs in cyberspace or any of those people. And so and I added this question in here just because I want to know from your perspective some of these things, just because it's so different from my experience. Like, when I first got into YouTube and I first got into all these things, my concern was like, I'm a fat man, sure, someone's going to give me crap all the time. Like, you think of the internet as being this terrible place, and then I didn't have any of that. Like, no one ever says anything. The only thing they ever try to do is like correct me on my, or no, I'm sorry, I get crap for my shirts. That's the only thing anyone has ever, that shirt's too loud, and I'm like, okay. But no one gives me crap, and you have such bizarre comments on Instagram and whatnot. So my question is ultimately, what is like the weirdest, dumbest, or creepiest thing like anyone has ever asked you from like the general public on any of your platforms?
Oh gosh, I could answer this all day, but
I'm so sorry for that, by the way.
um, like I can go with the light stuff to the heavy stuff. Like light stuff, like I get funny questions. Like one of my favorite questions is, how do they all live together and not eat each other? Which is fun because they don't all live together. Everyone lives separate, and there's
Yeah.
no chance they're going to eat each other. So there's like fun questions like that, and there's creepy questions like weird things like because it is a male dominated hobby, people do assume that like I have like mental issues or something is wrong with me because I'm interested in these things, that or they think that I'm faking, which would be a really expensive faking that I'm
Yeah.
doing. I'm faking really well. Um, so
Yeah, I don't know
that's
what
one
would be
thing.
in it for you to be faking that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I spent all this money on this thing that I'm faking.
Yeah, if you
Yeah.
watch my channel,
Yeah.
I do a lot of unboxings, so I am clearly spending money that I probably don't have, and I'm not faking. I'm very, very interested in these things, as you can see this like giant collection behind me. If you're listening,
wall.
if you're listening and not watching, I'm sitting in front of a huge bookshelf stacked to the brim with containers containing bugs and arachnids. So that's fun. But so there's a lot of things like that. Like people literally think I'm faking, which I just can't even fathom. It's like, that's crazy that I would spend so much time, money, energy, and handle these things and hold them and put them on my face and things like that if I'm faking that I like it. But there are also like a fair share of like creepy things. Like a lot of people asking me for like feet pictures.
Wait, what? Really? I don't know why I'm shocked that the internet is a terrible place. I guess that makes... So wait, they're just DMing you that, or are they asking blatantly? That's so...
just DMing me or asking me like if I have an OnlyFans, which really surprises me because I totally respect girls that do that, but I'm pretty sure that like my content doesn't lend its way to that at all. So I'm not sure why people ask, but they do. So yeah, those are some variety of fun to very creepy questions that I get.
I'm sorry you have to deal with that. However, now I'm curious what the crossover of OnlyFans and what bugs would be, and I don't know if anyone wants that. I think that might be most people's nightmare, if we're being honest.
I don't really think there's a market for it, and I will not be dabbling in that. So
Juice, on the other hand, might. So just stay tuned for Juice's.
Stay tuned.
Juice's feet pics now at onlyfans.com/Juice's feet.
I'm gonna get canceled.
You got some bugs walking all over your feet, maybe. That could be cross branding.
That would be amazing.
You know?
I was gonna ask you
all of their legs.
Exactly. I was gonna say, to go back to people thinking you fake it. I don't know a single person who doesn't like bugs that would let a Madagascar hissing cockroach crawl over their face. They're not small. You know what I mean?
No.
Like they're a very... And I was going to also tell you the commitment to your pictures is... Anybody that doesn't know, or anyone that's listening, because I can't show you one right now, Madagascar hissing cockroaches, especially the big males, they have those giant spurs on the back legs. And you had a couple on your face in one of the pictures, and I'm like, I wonder how many times it kicked her in the cheek.
For this podcast.
Yeah, exactly. That's true. How many times did they stab you in the cheek before you got that shot?
A couple. A good few.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, that is a very brave picture. Even I don't put them on my face.
Wow.
Because every time I pick them up, they stab me in the hands, and that sucks.
Yeah, it's something.
Hot Dog.
Yes.
How much money would it cost for me to take a picture of you to replicate the picture we have of Shanae? What would it cost to replicate that picture with you?
I don't know why I would want. I don't know if I want. There's 3 of them on your face.
There's 3.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, and they were stabbing you or stinging you. I don't know, man.
No,
they don't sting you. They're
only
defensive.
stabbing. Only stabbing. They just stab. No stinging.
Oh, stabbing. Okay, so all right. I don't know. I mean, does it hurt a lot? I'm not into pain.
Not that bad. It's like a 4 out of 10.
It's a 4. Well,
I want to preface this before you give in to peer pressure from Slightly Venomous. This is somebody that I have seen free handle like things that I would not consider free handling ever. Like, how many times have you held uwu with or without gloves?
Oh, I think twice with an oven mitt.
Yeah, and could you tell the audience what uwu is?
Yes, uwu is a Vietnamese giant centipede.
To paint a picture to anyone that doesn't know what this is like what, an 8-inch long?
Yeah, at least 8 inches.
Yeah.
Very large stabbing devices in the front, many legs.
Toxic cognaths, like an inch long. I think they're front bitey parts. Sorry, they punch you technically because their appendages are just legs that are modified.
Yeah.
And could you correct me if I'm wrong here? They're also highly venomous, if I'm not mistaken.
Indeed, they are quite venomous. Hence why I held them with an oven mitt.
Yeah. I mean, at least you did that. I've seen people like free handle cobras, and I'm like, you're an idiot. But at least
that's a lot.
Yeah, at least with uwu, you held him in oven mitts. Because I was like, when you said like I'm gonna hold him, I was like, I am chicken shit and compared to you, because you could not pay me enough to hold that thing, because once they bite you, they just keep biting you.
Yeah, it's a bad day.
So Hot Dog, would you free handle an 8-inch centipede?
You know, I've thought about it, and the answer for me is it's a no dog.
No,
I don't think I'll be doing that. I appreciate that there are people in the world braver than me to the commitment to the craft, really, that I just don't simply have.
Understandable.
Respect.
But I appreciate it. I'm glad someone does. Otherwise they'd be really lonely, I think.
They would.
Yeah, and
So.
I feel like something. If you asked me to summarize Shanae in any one word, brave is definitely that thing. Because I am. How many Black Widows do you have in your house right now as pets? I love Black Widows. Don't get me wrong,
I think I have 3 and 1 brown widow, which I actually got gravid, and so we're expecting.
Oh, hey, congratulations! That'll be awesome.
Thank you. I'm gonna be a grandma.
Mazel tov.
Yeah, that's great. You and I have talked in depths about, like, a lot of what we try to do is to destigmatize some quote unquote dangerous creatures. I would say that if I had a choice of free handling Black Widows, I would take that over Uwu any freaking day of the week because they're so cute. Yeah, like you could get hurt, but like Ooh, you will get hurt. Like he's going to bite you for sure.
I agree with you.
You also have back to the story of how you knew me. I found you because I was actually trying to figure out how to. Everyone who knows me knows I'm not a huge fan of breeding mantids because they're just kind of a pain. There are certain species that are really easy, and I feel like everyone should buy those. And then there's some that I've tried that are a little bit more difficult. But I ended up finding Shanae's channel by searching up mantis videos, and you had one that was like either top 5 or top 10.
Yeah, I think that was my first YouTube video.
It was awesome. It was a really, really good video. I mean, your videos are always good, but I really liked that one. But what kept me coming back is you had videos of like, I have this Black Widow, and like, oh, here's a brown recluse that I'm gonna free handle, and I was just like,
I did do that.
Yes. so if you guys haven't seen those videos, please go check them out. But I was always very impressed with Shanae with that. So my next question is kind of in line with this. We all know, or anyone that knows that like you're not afraid of anything venomous, but like, is there anything that we don't know about you? Like, is there anything that you kind of have never been asked and you really wish you were?
Yes, funny you should ask. I wish that someone would ask me which tarantula scientific name I feel sounds the most like a Harry Potter spell.
Ooh, please go
And
on.
My answer is going to be Grammostola pulchripes, because I feel like you could wave a wand and you could say Grammostola pulchripes and like something amazing would happen.
It is a really I love that so much. You have no idea, because I want to know equally as much. I mean, yes, that is very clearly a Harry Potter spell. I want to know where we got from Grammostola pulchripes to Choco Golden Knee. Like, how the crap did we get there?
That's a very good question. I don't know, but
I think about it all the time.
Yeah, I just feel like tarantula scientific names just sound so good as Harry Potter spells, and I just like sometimes when I'm just there, I just do it. I don't know. I'm just like Aphonopelma calcodes, Grammostola pulchra. I don't know. Like Avicularia. Like it's just so perfect.
That one's really good. Yeah, because then Avicularia precocia. Yeah,
that's good.
Avicularias are, man. Also, I just got an Avicularia not too long ago. Those are cool.
Those are freaking awesome.
Such awesome creatures.
They're kind of nice to handle. I don't know.
I did. I'll be honest. First and only tarantula I've ever held, I did hold an Avicularia. And I will say, what you guys don't see, anyone that's ever watched any of my videos or anything like that, what you guys don't realize, yes, I'm 6'4", 300 pounds, but like, I don't want to yeet the thing across the room. That's the number one reason why I don't hold tarantulas. And like, if I got bit, that would be your first like adrenaline thing.
That's true.
While I was holding this spider, it was a sling. It was very tiny. But you know how like Avicularia, when they're like slings, they kind of look like big idiot puppies with their giant feet and tiny bodies.
Yeah, they put them out. They're like...
Yeah, they like kind of paddle and they look... Hot Dog's like, yeah, totally understand.
We all know this. This is all something we know.
Common facts.
Common.
When I was holding it, it kept doing that thing that tarantulas do where they like light speed and then stop and then they move real fast and then they stop. And man, like 3 different times I was like, I'm going to yeet this thing. Like it's going to happen. And I kept thinking that. And all the while I was just like, I can't do that though. I have to be able to be brave enough to hold this thing because all I could hear is you in my head, Shanae, just being like, it's just a tarantula. Like, yeah, I know, but like, I don't want to like hurt this thing. So
That's so true though, and I think you should always preface, like, if you're holding any of these animals, you're doing it for you. You're not doing it for them. It's for you, and it's your responsibility to take care of them. And so when I free handle these animals, I'm keeping in mind that I'm, putting them in danger. So I need to be aware, and I need to be, comfortable with the fact, like, I've held a spider before and had it bite me and had to just remain calm because, like, my first spider bite ever was from my velvet spider, which is so funny because, like, they're just like, people love velvet spiders. They're like the puppies of the spider world. Yeah, mine bit me. I was just holding it and it just bit me, and I couldn't react. Like, I couldn't fling it like Juice was saying. I had to remain calm because I know that I'm putting this animal in danger by holding it. It's my responsibility to keep it safe. It's not the spider's responsibility. It's my responsibility to keep the animal safe. So if you're ever handling these types of animals, just, keep that in mind, that, it's your responsibility to keep it safe, and you're doing this for you, not for them. So just a little fun disclaimer.
No, 100% agree. I know too many people that like, and I see it a lot more commonly. And then I want, actually, first before I go on a tangent, Hot Doug,
Yes.
what is your take on holding tarantulas?
I'm gonna say it's not a thing I'm excited to do. I got to be honest.
So you
But
will do it though?
one thing that comes to mind, I just want to jump back to when we were talking about all the fun spider names. When did we start naming the spiders?
When we find them. What do you mean?
No, but like
time?
back when in time. When did we start naming like the first spiders? When?
That's
How long
a
have we been
great
doing
question.
this?
Can I propose a hypothesis that has? Do you know where? Okay, so there's the word tarantula.
Yeah.
It was like an Italian word that meant like big black spider. It was like one of their particular black spiders they had over there. And then people came to the United States or whenever, I have no concept of when this time was. They just kept using that. And then people were like, oh, that's a tarantula, because they kept saying tarantula, meaning whatever that spider was. And then they just started like, it's kind of like Daddy Longleg. How like it used to be, Harvestmen. And now like California was just like, that has long legs, Daddy long leg. That makes sense. And it was just like, wait, where did you get that from? So that's my hypothesis, is it was just one of those types of scenarios where it was just like someone in their native tongue said, like, it'd be like elote with corn, right? And someone's just like, yeah, corn, got it. And just keep going. You know what I mean? That would be my prediction. It's not a cool prediction.
That makes sense. I mean, but what about all the Latin names?
Well, then we had scientists. I mean, like,
that came after?
Probably. Well, yeah, because like, yeah, right? Because like you can't be a scientist for a thing you don't know exists.
Exactly. Yeah, you have to.
But they had to go back in time, and so they had to go back and how did they come up with the naming scheme for all the tarantula or spiders? How do they know how many to name?
They find them.
Yeah,
you just keep going as you find them.
You know, like how Darwin had like a finch. He had like a finch magazine, and then you would eat them.
Yeah.
Actually, old timey scientists used to just eat shit. Like that's what they would do. They'd be like, they would like write down
that's
like,
a spider.
This is the golden finch, and then they'd be like, tasted delicious, edible. Why? Why would you do that? Yeah.
Actually, did you hear that? What didn't they just find a new spider like a week ago?
Yeah, they find like new ones all the time. What was the one in the cave, right? Like the Mexico cave?
Yeah, the cave spider. Does anyone know what I'm talking about?
Yes, I do.
I hate to say I do not.
It's okay. They literally find new tarantulas. Like
send me the link after this.
100%.
Yeah, I forgot what it was called now that I think about it, but
it's such a
it's
such a boring looking spider. I know that's a terrible thing to say, but it's like it looks like a brown like a regular brown wolf spider. It doesn't look that fancy, but it is.
So we do have an audience question about bugs and spiders. I want to get to really fast.
Oh, okay.
Gorilla Fan asks, is there a bug in your collection that actually makes you feel like a Harry Potter character? Followed with, what creature will you bring as your pet / familiar to Hogwarts?
I love that so much. That's so amazing. Let's see, what makes me feel the most like a Harry Potter? I want to say for my familiar, I'm going to bring a Black Widow. I just feel like they could be so useful. Like, not only do they look cool, but they can protect me. They can like ward people off, and it would be really convenient to carry it around. Like, it could just like ride on my shoulder, which would be really convenient. And I think also it could like get into small spaces. It could like sneak little messages. Like, we could pass notes in class. Like, my little Black Widow could like pass notes for me. I think that'd be really fun. So I'm gonna bring a Black Widow for my familiar. And what makes me feel the most like a Harry Potter character? Gosh, that's so hard. I want to say, like, does it have to be a bug, or can it be like any animal I have? Because if it could be any animal I have, I might say my Emerald Swift lizard. I know it's not a bug, it's a lizard, but it's just this amazing color, and it looks like a little mini dragon. So I think
really
that
cool.
makes me feel like a little Harry Potter person, because I have like my little mini dragon.
That does feel on brand for the Harry Potter universe as well.
Yeah.
Which is good.
Emerald Swiss are really cool, by the way. I'm jealous of you.
They are
for
so
having them.
cool. I picked mine up so randomly, and I don't ever regret it for a second.
That's the best way to pick up a lizard. Like, I know a lot of people plan and prep, and you should definitely do that. But like, sometimes it's like once you've had enough lizards, you're like, dude, they're all the same. I can just like, tweak a couple things. And
I had the enclosure ready, and I went in and I was like, so I've got like this enclosure I just built out. What can I put in it? And they were like, you could put an Emerald Swift in there. And I was like, okay.
Perfect. Sounds fantastic.
So I do have from our show co-host runner Otter the picture of the spider I can share with you that was found in the Mexican cave, and I'm now going to attempt to put it on screen. Sort of visible.
Oh, it's cute.
I love this picture so much.
That's a
for
good
a couple
picture.
reasons. The red on
pretty cool.
The Chelicera area is really cool. Like the mandible red. It's not called mandible red, but you know what I'm saying? Like the little red around the mandible. I don't know how to describe this because I can't show it to anybody listening. So it's like, see the big gray mustache? Look to the right and left.
Yes.
I'm gonna try to make it a little bigger. The other thing is, this is a type of huntsman spider. This is another shot of it.
I didn't know that.
We love a huntsman spider.
Huntsman spiders are amazing. Okay, well now I'm more interested.
I'm intrigued. Yeah. I'm very intrigued.
Wait. Did I just totally misread this? It's that word.
Yeah, you did.
It's pretty good size. It's nowhere near that world's largest leg span, which is the giant huntsman spider, the daddy spider, the true daddy long legs.
Yeah, the true daddy spider. Okay, so I'm confused. Is this this is not a tarantula. This is just a spider, right? I'm answering your question. It's not a tarantula.
I think it's just a spider, but I don't know much about it.
Yeah, it's not a
I just know that they found it recently. It was
look at its Chelicera, though. That's what's interesting is that it has.
This is from 2017. This doesn't seem right.
Oh wow. Maybe we're on the wrong track.
Otter, I think
Hot Dog, did you just get
news?
Yeah, I was gonna say, did you just get fake news, bro?
I got fake news from within.
Oh man.
It's okay. It's okay.
I showed a picture of a peacock spider with his P Metallica.
We're still sorting things out. Look, we can all agree that there is a cave in Mexico that they're finding all kinds of cool spiders in.
Well,
so
we can all agree. My next thing I'm going to do in life. Speaking of fake news, aka myths, Sinead, what would you say is like the myth about arthropods that annoys you the absolute most?
Probably that camel spiders chase you.
Oh my God, yes. Thank you.
I uploaded some content not too long ago about camel spiders. I got a few, and everyone's just like, they chase you, or they eat camels, which I'm just like, whoa, let's not get crazy now.
Why would they eat camels?
I don't know why they would eat camels, but camel spiders are the horribly misunderstood critters. Like, gosh, they just have the worst rep, and I feel so bad for them, but they do not chase you. They are just trying to get away from you, and maybe you are providing shade that they might be seeking, which is a possibility, but they will not chase you, and they will not eat a camel.
I love that myth, and I love that you hate that myth, and I'm going to explain why. No one has ever thought about that longer than 2 seconds about them eating camels. Imagine fucking how much food a camel is to a single spider that's like 3 inches. And it's not even a spider, it's an arachnid.
Yeah,
Imagine how long it would eat that thing for 10 years. Like, it's
it
so
would.
small. And like, I remember when they, with the Cephalopods, they started showing like pictures of them. Like, it would be like like a soldier holding it up. And they're
Yeah,
like, look at
like
the
a
size of
perspective
this.
shot, right?
Yeah, and it's like forced perspective as hell, where he's got it like, look how big my fist is. You don't go, wow, his fist is 3 feet wide. Like, they just immediately, their brains went
Yeah,
dead. And I used to laugh at it all the time. They're like, they chase you. I'm like, bro, you can have them bite you. They can't penetrate your skin. They like
yeah.
have the
You can
shittiest
literally.
mouths
I've
on the
put
planet.
my finger like up to their mouth, and they literally can't bite it. Like
Yeah,
they just they're pretty defenseless critters. Like
yeah.
so, yeah. That's gonna be it for me.
I love it. I love it so much. And the saddest fact, and I don't mean to go to the Q&A portion before we skip to the next piece. The saddest fact I ever learned about the Silophugids is the fact that, like, oftentimes people get them as pets and then they think they died and then they let them go, or like they'll throw them away or bury them or whatever,
Oh yes,
and then they are just dormant for 6 months. Like, they're just in a fugue
totally.
state.
100%. I can attest to this. I have one right now that's doing that. I thought he died. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
well, they don't live long. It died.
Yep.
I went to take it out. It went, right, like threat posed me.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa. I'm
That
sorry,
they do
buddy.
that.
They can
It was
literally
just,
hold a position for 6 months.
yeah, it's so sad because I'm like, how many people got these? And we're like, oh, it died. And then they just threw them away. And the camel spider's like, well, I guess I'm free now. So
In the
cool.
garbage can.
Yeah, in the garbage. There's gonna be like some like recycling center somewhere that is just overrun with these things. So Hot Doug, let's do a Q&A for a couple seconds. Let's have people
All
ask
right.
any questions they have for Shanae before we get into the next topics here.
All right, we got a couple of questions from chat. What are your recommendations for places or museums or exhibits for those who are new to the bug world, or help those who are a bit scared or curious as an introduction?
I would definitely recommend heading to your local natural history museum. They tend to have some amazing critters on display. I'm really lucky where I live in San Diego. We have a natural history museum which actually contains live bugs. They have some bees, they have some ants, they have some water bugs. They have some very interesting stuff. So if you are local to San Diego, definitely head to our local natural history museum. You will be amazed and astonished, and you will just have the best day of your life, because not only do they have live critters, but they have a ton of pinned critters, like anything you could ever dream of. They have weevils, they have beetles, they have scorpions, they have tarantulas, they have spiders, they have everything you could ever need. If you're local to LA, Los Angeles, they also have some pretty great stuff over there. There is also the Bug Fair coming up May 20th. If you are local to Southern California, that's a great option for you. But definitely head to your local natural history museum and feel free to look up just like bug events in your area, because you'd be surprised that there are some bug specific events. If not, reptile expos. Every place has a reptile expo, and I can guarantee you will find some fun arthropods at your local reptile expo. So even if you're not into reptiles, don't be afraid to head to a reptile expo and check out maybe some cool arthropods.
I feel like
Awesome.
reptile expos are the most underappreciated area and that's actually why I started doing them. Invertebrates are everywhere at those things, and they're so
Totally.
cheap to get into there. Like, you can see
Yeah.
everything cool. Like, for kids, like most of the times parents will take their kids to those things on like a Sunday, and they'll have like half off tickets. So like, normally it'd be like $12. They'll pay like $6 to get in. Like, they're awesome for people.
Totally.
Awesome. Juice, don't you have a show coming up that you're going to be at soon?
Yes, I do, and I'm totally prepared for what that date is, Hot Dog. It is June.
Good.
June, a date we will add in.
It's in June. We'll add in post. It'll be right here in my hand.
Yeah, right there. I think it's June 22nd, 21st and 22nd. I apologize. Okay. I wasn't prepared for that question. But yes, in June. And I will be very heavily telling everybody about it. And then I have another one in August as well. So it's in San Jose in June, and then San Mateo in August, and if you can convince me, I may do the Sacramento show in September, but I'm debating it if I have enough stuff. So I will let you guys know about that.
All right, being told by our showrunner, we got June 24th and 25th in San Jose.
Thank you.
And in August, it'll be 19th and the 20th in San Mateo.
Perfect. Thank you, showrunner. Juice was totally prepared for those dates. Sure.
Another question from chat I wanted to get in here before we move on. Where are toe biters most commonly found?
That's a good question. Juice?
Vietnam.
The water.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The water.
The water.
I like Sinead's
the waters
answer
of
to
Vietnam.
that. Yeah, it's like water. Sorry. It's water. I'm doubling down.
It's all water.
The water, also the air.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
In some parts of Asia, maybe Vietnam, Thailand,
something like that.
Yeah, it's like Vietnam, Laos.
Not Australia, not
Australia. No. Maybe they probably have some.
Well,
I'm sure in Australia they have some type of bug that wants to bite your toes.
That's true.
Yeah,
they must, right? Like
they must.
It's so
everything
funny.
there wants you to die. I think, yeah.
It's so funny though, because like everyone always gives Australia crap for like dangerous things, and like realistically, they only have big bugs. Like the do you have like the Sydney funnel web spider and stuff like that? Like they're not really that dangerous. Like they're as dangerous as like a black widow. Like without medical attention, obviously it's bad. But most of the time, what people are complaining about is the huntsman spider there because it's so big. But like,
yeah, and huntsmans are totally harmless.
Harmless, yeah. I mean, also, if they sneak up on you, you're deaf. Like they sound like a freaking deer galloping as they run towards you. They're like the size of a poodle. Like you can't miss them. So I'm always laughing. I'm like, why does everyone always give them crap for the stuff they have? Like, if anything, like there are like the Peruvian rainforest is home of some of the most toxic, like the most venomous and dangerous snakes and other reptiles. And everyone's like, Australia, man, something screwed up there. Like, you guys know there's like crocodiles in most of the world, right?
Yeah, right?
I know, pretty terrifying.
Yeah, they're in water snakes. Oh gosh. Don't get me started on water snakes.
Yeah, it's like you'll be fine. Australia's not that bad.
Yeah, I would love to go to the Australia Zoo sometime.
Oh yeah.
That would be amazing.
Is it Australia Zoo that they have that the oh my god, Irwin's Steve Irwin's family.
Yeah.
That's the Irwin family, right? That runs that over there. I'm jealous. Also, you said May is Bugfest in San Diego?
Yeah, in LA. It's May 20th and 21st, I believe, is Bug Fair.
I know I was very sad I couldn't go this year.
I am so sad that you cannot go, but 2024,
For sure.
You are coming.
Yes, I will make sure that I am there 2024.
Please, it's amazing. It was like the best day of my life. It's just like a bug nerd's dream.
Yeah, I'm very sad that I'm missing it, but I will make sure that I'm there for 2024 because that sounds awesome. Hot Doug, I know we have a couple questions. How are we doing on time?
Yes, sir. It is 7:55.
Yeah,
final
we have about
stretch.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. We have time. For our topics.
How would you like to proceed? We have a couple more questions from the chat. If you want to do that, we can do topics.
Let's have Shanae pick.
Chat. Let's do chat.
Perfect.
All right. We have a question in, says, what bug is in your current collection that's the most intimidating to care for, and which one is the easiest?
Let's see. The easiest are probably roaches because I'm eating some fruit and I just throw it in there for them and then they just eat it and enjoy, and I just love them and I love to like pick them up and play with them, so they're so fun. I would say roaches are probably the easiest to care for. The most intimidating is like fast spiders for me. Like I still just like get a little tense when I'm taking care of fast spiders. Like I just got a new huntsman and they are pretty fast. They can be pretty fast. Wolf spiders are fast and I love them and they don't like intimidate me like they're going to bite me or anything. But I have had one just zippity-doo-dah away on me and that was a bad day. And luckily they have reflective eyes. So what I did was I just turned all the lights off and I just waited for a really long time, and I eventually just was shining like my phone flashlight, and eventually I saw the eye shine of the wolf spider I had lost, and I caught it. But yeah, there's just their speed. So things with speed and centipedes, things with speed. I have this little centipede who is just a firecracker, so fast, and just fast things kind of intimidate me, if that makes sense.
I think you just awakened a nightmare that most average people aren't aware of. As I'm seeing Hot Dog shake his head, most people, Sinead, don't know that wolf spiders have eye shine.
Oh yeah,
So
they have eye shine.
that was
So
a
like,
I
secret
did
we were
not know
supposed to
that.
keep from them.
Oh no.
sorry, they have eye shine.
So what she's saying is, if you shine a flashlight in the back of your yard and you see 1,000 tiny shining eyes like you see with a wolf, those are spiders.
Wow.
Sorry about that, y'all.
Oof, that could be. I'm gonna try that later.
You said that, and I was like, no, don't tell people that. You just arachnophobes everywhere. Just shit their
Too
pants.
scary for the general public.
Oh man. Oh, can I ask a question before the next question?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. As somebody that's obviously taking strides to be in a male dominated society, what advice do you have for little girls that want to become you, to grow up to be you? Like, what recommendations do you have from the start? Because, teaching them young is the easiest way to get them into this.
Yeah.
So, what advice would you have for them?
You just have to stay true to yourself and know that you like what you like. Just, make sure that you are firm with what you like and you know what you like, and just stay true to yourself. Don't let people knock you down. However it works for you to respond to negativity is like key. Just finding how you respond to it. For me, it's throwing back at them happy, bubbly, good vibes. Just knowing that I'm gonna not let them affect me how they want to. Just knowing that they are insecure and that's why they are acting the way they're acting. If they're coming at you negatively, it's not you, it's them. Just know it's not you, it's them. You're doing what you love, and just stay true to yourself. I mean, it's freaking hard, and I'm learning every day. Like when I got into this, I didn't know that this was something I was going to be battling, but it's hard, and I'm learning every day. I'm learning every day to find the better answer to that, but you just have to stay true to yourself.
I love that. I love that very much. Doug.
That's great. Another question from the audience. Junebug Love says, "What bug should I paint tonight?"
Ooh, oh my gosh, what bug should you paint? Let's see. You should paint a death head roach.
Ooh.
That would be awesome.
Death head roach.
That would
All right, Junebug, get to it. Make sure and tag us on Instagram. We want to see it. So get to painting.
Is it Blabber's craniferous? I can't remember. Yeah,
something
those are
like
really
that.
cool. They're really cool looking roaches. Oh, before we get into new questions or new segments, how are your giant roaches doing? The giant cave roaches.
They are so good. Oh my gosh, I'm obsessed with them. I love them. I love how they look as nymphs. Like, I actually had someone comment. I posted a video of them like crawling on me, and someone was like, "I'm scared of roaches, but that is like a vibe I could get with." Because they just have, like, as nymphs, they have this cool, almost like isopod look to them. And then just knowing that they're going to turn into this amazing, huge winged creature, just like, I'm so excited. Like, I just love them. I'm obsessed with them. And thank you so much for sending them to me, because I love them. I love them. I can't wait for them to evolve into their final form.
They're so cool. Like, it's one of those things. People asked me one time, like, what my favorite roach was, and I was so torn. I went with Madagascar hissing cockroach because that hissing is just so cute. But the Blabberus giganteus, they look like trilobites. They're so freaking cool. I love them so much. I was just like, and it was actually Otter that had shown me them. We had a choice of like all these roaches, and she was like, pick those. And I did, not knowing really anything about them. And then they ended up being so big and so awesome. And I was like, okay, we're definitely breeding these for sure.
They are so cool. Yeah. We love a big roach.
Love a roach. Is there any more audience questions, Hot Dog? muted, Hot Dog.
I like that.
Yes. Don't worry about that. I was just preparing. I wanted to hear it before I said it once.
Vocally, yeah.
Is there a dream bug you want to eventually own that you haven't had yet?
Oh my gosh, so many. I really want the those metallic roaches. Juicy might know their scientific name, but the roaches that have that emerald roach or whatever. That's a dream bug for me for sure. I got my dream huntsman. Probably I really want the golden huntsman. That's like a dream bug for me. I don't know their scientific name either. I'm so sorry, Juice. I know you're all about scientific names, but
I don't know them either. It's okay. I only know them when I buy them.
The golden huntsman, devil's flower mantis is on the list, but they're just so difficult to keep alive. I think I'm gonna think of more, but Juice, you should go while I'm thinking.
I love the Asian emerald roaches are so awesome, and I have like 6 people that are ready to sell me these things, but every time I'm like, hey, what's your timeline? They're like, bro, I have no idea, and I'm like, I'm maybe it's because I'm cocky, but I'm like, I bet I could get these breeding. Like, there's not a single thing in my life that tells me that I couldn't like absolutely crush it on breeding these things, but I'm just waiting for everyone. Velvet worms. I know it's Juice's arthropods, but velvet worms. I have found 3 people that are willing to sell them to me, but holy crap, they're expensive. It's insane how expensive they are. But, Hot Doug, we talked about the velvet worm as being, the best supervillain. I think that would be the best. I think, I'm going to agree with Shanae on the Asian emerald cockroach, and then a velvet worm, and then one of these days I'm gonna have a P Metallica. Like, I want that damn tarantula so much. They're so beautiful.
Yeah, they are. They're so cool.
My dog would try to eat it though and die in it like 10 minutes though. Like, I know how that would go.
Yeah, we don't want that.
Yeah. What about you, Hot Dog? What would be the bug? Like, what would it be what is gonna be your first arthropod purchase? Like, I know one day it's gonna happen. Like, it's gonna be like it would be like the equivalent of me deciding one day, like, I'm going to go to the gym.
Yeah.
It would be the same thing, but for that.
Mm-hmm. It's going to be, you get into it one day. Yeah. I think for me, I think I don't know. I might be into scorpions.
Yeah.
I think so. I think maybe. And Fawn Fatale in the chat says, my dream arachnid is an emperor scorpion. But I can't find any.
They are hard to find.
Are they hard to get?
Captive bred, yeah, they're really hard to find.
Yeah, they're almost they are exclusively in the hobby from export or importing rather. I don't know why though, and I mean I have a theory on why, and it's because they're selling them so cheap wild caught that why would anybody want to breed them? And I'm going to I don't care about profits. I care about getting things I'm the worst business runner on the planet. I'm like, I want to.
You heard it here first, folks.
Yeah, hearing it here
Invest
first.
now.
Worst IPO
Juice's
company ever.
Arthropods. It's a for-profit business eventually.
Yeah, at some point. You got my CPA watching this, just shaking their head like,
no. It's a process. You'll get there.
The Emperor Scorpions are so hard to come upon. I don't know why that is. I think it's just because when you get them, the people that are importing them do not know how to sex them. And that's the first piece is they don't know how to sex them. So they don't. And so the way that I have found in order to breed certain species of a certain type is you buy a lot of them. And then eventually some of them are males and some of them are females. And a lot of breeders do this thing where a lot of invertebrate sellers do not breed at all. Like people that do breeding and selling is almost as rare as vineyards that grow their own grapes and make their own wine. Like, it's just one of those things that they don't typically do because, when you're a vendor, what you want to do is you want to buy it cheap. A lot of times they're wild caught and then you sell them high. You have to, or if you're a breeder, you breed them and then you sell a bulk of them so you don't have to pay for the expenses. Only morons like me do all of it. Just eat the cost. So, but no, I am on the lookout for Emperor Scorpions as well, to your point. So if at any point in time I come across some, just hit me up on DMs and my Instagram, and at some point I will hit you up back because I've been wanting those since Shanae, you had
Petty
one.
Palpatine.
Emperor, what is his name?
Emperor Petty Palpatine.
Could you explain that? Could you explain the name to the people that don't know anything about bugs?
Well, so Petty Palps are like the front appendages on arachnids, and the pinchers on scorpions are modified Petty Palps. And Emperor Petty Palpatine is a Star Wars character, so I combined Petty Palps and Palpatine, and I came up with Emperor Petty Palpatine.
I love a good portmanteau.
I love it so much.
Thank you.
Very nice.
It's just so good. Okay. Any more questions, Doug? Otherwise, I think maybe we spend the next 20 minutes doing the questionnaire we have.
All right. I have 2 topics to ask that I have to ask both of you. Each person can give a response, and these are randomly selected. So random. I'm not sure which one I'm going to pick. I'm going to pick one right now. I haven't even read these. So we're going to learn together what it is I'm about to ask you. You have to create a fellowship in a Lord of the Rings style adventure. Which invertebrates and why are you on your fellowship? And who are you playing in that adventure and why?
Who's first?
You go
first. Can I get clarification, and then I want Shanae to go first?
Okay, all right.
For clarification, we're creating a fellowship, a la Lord of the Rings type style. We have the fellowship members are each an invertebrate. Mm-hmm. Why did we pick those, and who are we in that fellowship? Like, are we Legolas?
And who are you?
Etc. Okay.
Yes.
Yes. Now that we've got clarification,
who are you?
Please, Shanae, take it.
Yeah, well, I definitely want to be like a cool elf for sure. But I'm going to be like a bug elf, obviously. So that's definitely going to be my thing. And who am I going to take with me? I will take a mantis, and the mantis will be like our defender. He will, be our one who's gonna fight for us. I'll take an isopod. I'll take a couple isopods. They're gonna be just chilling. They're gonna be like the ones that we're protecting. Like they're gonna be like the little hobbits are gonna be the little isopods, and they're just gonna eat dirt, and they're just gonna thrive, and we're gonna protect them and keep them safe. I think we will also have probably some spiders with us for like our tanks. They're gonna take the damage. And I think that, let's see, we'll round it off with, let me look behind me, some roaches. What the heck? Of course we're going to have roaches. We're going to have a couple roaches in there too. And they're going to be, well, I guess they wouldn't be very useful. So they're going to be like they're going to be protecting the ring.
I really like that.
I
feel like the mantids being the defenders is a good choice. I'm gonna pick a stupid assortment of characters. I agree with Shanae on the roaches, but I think they would be the hobbits. 100%.
Not the isopods?
No, because I have watched isopods eat a pinky mouse in under 12 hours before. So they are much more dangerous than people give them credit for. So I am not going to keep isopods. I'm going to go with roaches being the hobbits, because like, does a single hobbit murder anybody in the Lord of the Rings? I think like by proxy, maybe Pippin or I was going to say Scotty Pippin. I know that's not the hobbit's name. So Pippin and Merry, right? Do they at any? I think they might kill one orc, and I think like accidentally they kill Smeagol, but I don't know if they really do any murder, right? So I think I'm gonna go with roaches for the hobbits. There's gonna be like 10 Lord of the Rings fans that are gonna like freak out on me in a minute for sure. I'm gonna go with an Asian forest scorpion as a Gimli, because they're very grumpy. They're the grumpiest damn animal I own, but then they're also like, I never find them, so I'm gonna say yes because they're small and they're grumpy. I'm gonna pick specific tarantula. I'm gonna go with Vicularia for the elf here, because I think
they can shoot the poop.
Exactly. Exactly what I was not thinking, but I love that. They can poop shoot.
Part of the
so there
arsenal.
we go. They got an arsenal. That's such an underappreciated factoid about those tarantulas. Yes. Love that. I I would love to say that I'm a hero in Lord of the Rings, but I'm also the laziest human I know. So I know I'm not them. So I'm gonna who's the I guess I'm probably the guy who dies in the first one. Spoiler alert, I guess. Boromir? Is it is it a spoiler if it's 20 years ago?
Spoiler! I haven't even
Someone's gonna
watched it yet.
like what? Boromir dies?
What?
Son of a bitch. Yeah, I think I got Boromir. I think I die in the first scene, the very first movie,
Yeah.
and then the rest keep going.
That's
I'm
on
gonna
brand.
yeah, exactly. I think Aragorn is gonna have to be he's probably a jumping spider. And I'm only saying that because like Aragorn is the most over like don't get me wrong, I love jumping spiders, but like their hype right now is Aragorn level, where it's like, hey, it's cool, but he doesn't like walk on snow or like he's not a dwarf. Dwarves are clearly the better race in Lord of the Rings. So I'm gonna say probably Phidippus Regius specifically is gonna be Aragorn because I wish I could see the comment section because I'm sure there's someone mad. There's,
They're
let's
furious.
see, who is the other one? There's the dwarf, the human, the elf. Am I missing people besides the Miriam, Pippin, Scotty, and
There are 2 hobbits?
there's 4 hobbits.
4 hobbits.
Yeah, there's
All
4
right.
hobbits. All of them roaches. They're the same.
Okay.
I guess.
All right. All same class there. All right.
Yeah. I'm gonna say ints or ghost mantids though, because like they're the slowest, laziest, nothing. But then like when they do kill shit, it's pretty dope. So I'm gonna go with that. Oh, Gandalf! How did I miss the guy that basically wins all of? What?
Yeah. Who's your Gandalf?
Ooh.
I need something lazy because Gandalf doesn't do crap for like the entire movie, and then he just like MacGuffins his way into winning every time.
Camel spider can stay sedentary for 6 months.
Yep, exactly. Camel spider. Perfect. Love it. No notes.
That's a perfect fit.
Yeah, absolutely. What about you, Hot Doug?
Me? Oh
I just want to see if you can name that many bugs.
Okay, yeah, here we go. Well, all the hobbits are roly-polies. Sure. Easy.
That's what I
said. Yeah, I'm going with that. I just like what you said. I would do the same. That one fits me perfectly as well. For Gandalf, I think I'm going Huntsman, maybe, because he's cool and Gandalf's cool and Huntsmans are cool.
Yeah.
Dwarf, I think I'm gonna go. That's where I might go cockroach, because I think a little bit more cockroach to the dwarf in terms of like little survivor. Right? They're kind of a tank. You know, okay. I would think cockroach for dwarf for me. Who am I missing? Human?
Are you saying you're Aragorn in this scenario?
I think I am. Yeah, I think that's all that's left. So I'm going. I don't remember what Aragorn's about, but maybe he also forgets what he's about, and in that way I'm like him. Then yes, with you on it.
Can I ask a side question about Lord of the Rings real quick? Is there only 3 women in the entire 3 movies? Liv Tyler, the one woman that talks to another girl and says, "We gotta leave." Galadriel. Am I missing any? Oh! What is her name? There's 4. There's 4 of them. Is there really only 4 women with lines in all of Lord of the Rings? That sucks so hard if that's true. Chat, can one of you guys confirm this? No, don't ask ChatGPT. Why would it know? This is like
I don't know.
I guess I just never thought about that. That's brutal. Huh. All right. While we wait for chat, I think we have time for one more.
It's time for one more question. All right. Here it is. You suddenly switch bodies a la Freaky Friday with one invertebrate. Which would you prefer you switch with? Which would you absolutely not want to switch with? And Shanae, you can go first again.
Oh gosh, okay. I would not want to switch with some type of orb weaving spider because I feel like they have so much work to do And I'm not down for that type of work and just remaining chill and like waiting for my food to come to me. Like, no, when it comes to food, like when I'm hungry, I'm hungry. I just can't wait. So I think I wouldn't want to be some type of orb weaving spider because, again, a lot of work and waiting for food. Just not down. What would I want to turn into? I'm going to say a millipede. Because then I could eat all the time and I can just eat everything around me. I can just eat, like rotting wood, rotting leaves, dirt if I so desire, and it would be delicious to me. And I would have a lot of legs, and I feel like that would be really fun to experience walking on a lot of different legs. So I think I would choose to become a millipede.
I love that so much because millipedes basically do nothing but eat and sleep all day, and that's a really solid life. Crap.
Solid.
Okay, I know which one I don't want to be. I do not want to be a dung beetle. I don't need to go further, but I will. Because like they don't eat poop when they're adults, but they do like carry it around with them. Like I appreciate them as species, but like I don't want that. No, I don't want that smoke. And I don't want my like first memory to be me just gobbling down poop. So I'm gonna go no on them. Who would I want to be? This is hard for me because like I don't. Does the world still have birds?
Yes.
Shit. Okay. What do I have? Oh. Also, we have these at Juice's Arthropods. Green lynx spider.
Tell me more.
Yeah, green lynx spider is definitely who I'm going with. They are the most underappreciated spider that you can get in the hobby, in my opinion. Well, no, not the most, but they're very much up there as far as underappreciated spiders in the hobby. A little bit more advanced users, but they do all of the things that a Phidippus regius or any other jumping spider does, which is jump, and that's awesome. But they can also do they'll do like a back jump, like they can do almost like a backflip. They hunt their prey down. They're very camouflaged with their background. They got these dope spikes all over their body. They got this crazy face. It's just, oh man, can one of the people show a picture to Hot Doug to pull up a picture of the green lynx spider?
Chat, can we get me one? Showrunner, can we get me one? Showrunner Otter. Soon.
She says we're working on it. She's over she's Googling away, man. It's like you just threw me under the bridge in front of a live audience.
Okay, here we go. I have one now, pulling it up. Let's see.
This is a peacock spider again. Yes.
Okay. There it is.
There we have the correct spider.
We did it, everyone.
These are so awesome. See those spines? Those aren't soft. They are actually a little spiny. And they're just they get about the size of a quarter, maybe a little bit longer with their legs. But just awesome. And they also did, now, okay, this hasn't been peer reviewed. This was one scientist that noticed this. They noticed that they would like take a towel and like a petri dish and they would pull some residue that was on their glasses that they were like, what the hell is on my glasses, after they were like in the field with them a lot. And then they tested it and it ended up being some sort of venom. So they found that these things can somehow eject venom within like 6 to 8 inches. And I like the idea of that, but I've never seen it peer reviewed. So I'm skeptical to say that's 100% positive. But if it's true though,
that's crazy.
How? That's what I want to know. How does a spider eject its venom? And the only thing I can think of is they're doing it by like pointing their fangs up and then launching it forward because they're so fast. Like,
like a whipped cream can.
Like this. Yeah, the sound of like the dough, Pillsbury dough in a can that makes the biscuits.
Yeah.
Little pop.
Yeah.
I hate that. Like Clint Laidlaw from Clint's Reptiles mentioned one time he hates that and it freaks him out. And I think I have whatever that condition is. I hate things that jump, and like green link spiders do that to you all the time. They'll run like a web line down. And so like they'll be at the top, you'll open it, and then they'll vanish. And you're like, oh, okay. And then they'll shoot out the top of it because they almost like Spider-Man themselves up very quickly and out. So like all the times I'm feeding them, I have to like feed, spray, close because they'll immediately shoot out of the top of the damn thing. So yeah, they're awesome. Definitely the spider I'm taking for sure. If I got a Freaky Friday, you're gonna have fun. Now, I'm a little concerned about what it's doing in my body though when I get it back. Like it's just biting people. Like I don't know. Millipedes at least it would just be Shanae's body just chewing on leaves and rocks and gravel. Like my body's biting the elderly. It's not
oh gosh. That's true. I didn't think about that part of the question.
So let's take some more audience questions, Hot Doug.
And then we'll all right, audience. Let's see here. Couple we have. I saw. What arthropod was the scariest to hold?
Ooh, that's gonna be definitely the Deathstalker scorpion. Was very scary for me to hold. I did it as part of my AGT audition for this year, but it didn't happen. So spoiler, that's the inside scoop. I didn't make it this year, but I held a Deathstalker scorpion for it. And I was really nervous because they pack a venomous punch, and if I got stung, it would be a really bad day. So it was just like pure trust in the scorpion that I'm like, you're not going to sting me, right? Like we're good. We're on the same page. But I think I have a YouTube video up where I hold it, but it was definitely intimidating, even though, like, again, I wanted to hold it to break the stigma behind it and that they're not out to get you and they don't have, like, a desire to sting you. Like, Deathstalkers aren't like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to sting a human. You know, it's not like that at all. They're actually pretty darn timid. I noticed that the most venomous animals I have are also the most timid. That, like a black widow, for example, like, when you open up its container, it's like, I'm dead. Don't bother me. I'm dead. Like, you know, they play dead. It's like, but so they're very docile. They're very chill. I wouldn't recommend holding them though, but I was definitely nervous to do so.
Yeah, I imagine.
I get a message. I get a DM from Shanae, and she goes, "Look what I got." And I'm like, it's a Deathstalker scorpion. Actually, my exact thing was, holy crap, is that a Deathstalker scorpion? And she's like, yes. And then she shows me a picture of her holding it. I'm like, what are you doing? I'm all for. Yeah. Deathstalker scorpions are, we have a bark scorpion here in the United States. It's pretty venomous. Like it'll pack a punch. Like you're going to feel it. You're not going to have nausea, vomiting. Yeah, you're going to have a bad day. Deathstalker scorpions have the name death in them, and it's not like they're being facetious. Like you're probably not going to die as long as you seek medical treatment, but like you will get extreme nausea, vomiting. Like if this was 300 years ago, you would definitely die. Nowadays, you'll just go to the hospital and they'll call you an idiot. But then she goes, yeah, I'm going to do this for AGT. And I'm like, I'm sorry, are you going to hold a very venomous scorpion in front of a live audience so we can have like, how many people are in those? Like 100,000 people can just watch you get hospitalized.
Well, luckily it didn't happen for me this year, so.
Well, I'm sad to see that you aren't going to be moving on to season 18. However, I loved the video. I want to shout out Shanae real quick. She's got a really good video right now on YouTube for Black Widows. So go check that out as well. I'm going to add a lot of links to the videos as well as the podcast. Just give me some time because I have to figure out how to do it after the fact. But definitely go check out her video it was such a good video that you just had with the Black Widows.
Thank you.
I feel like it's completely underappreciated. And again, congratulations on being a mom to the Brown Widow.
Yeah, I'm a grandma.
Yeah, that's awesome. So Shanae, because it's 8:26. Oh, I'm sorry. Do we have a couple more questions, Hot Dog?
Take it away.
Are you asking me to take? Oh, we're good. Okay, perfect. Shanae, where can people find you? Where is the best place for them to see more of you?
So I go by Slightly Venomous on all of my platforms, and you can find me on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. I'm not as active on TikTok anymore because there's a little bit of haters going on there, but you can find me definitely on YouTube and Instagram under the name Slightly Venomous, and I post content there. I try to do weekly YouTube videos, and I do almost daily. I do a lot of Instagram, so if you want to see like daily stories, if you want to see like behind the scenes, little like snippets and stuff, I would definitely go to Instagram because I'm always posting stories of my beautiful bug children. And sorry, this is a cat. My cat just walked into the frame. If you're listening, my cat is here. And yeah, so YouTube is my most passion, where I have my most passion, because I can share like long form content. So definitely check out my YouTube. Like Juice said, I just released a really fun video about black widows where I show you everything you need to keep them. I have all kinds of videos on there, such as me holding venomous things, me giving you beginner tips, me showing my top 5s of different species and things like that. So yeah, just be sure to check me out. I would really, really, really appreciate it if you would join me in my journey to create content.
And guys, definitely go and like and subscribe over at her YouTube, because you're so close to 8,000 followers.
Yeah, I'm really close.
You're so close. Honestly, if everybody watching this and then anybody that does listen to this, go subscribe to her. She's gonna get there in like a couple days. Like, it's ridiculous how close she is. So please go do that. Hot Doug, where can people find you, follow you?
I have a newly made Instagram account. You can find me at Instagram at hotdoug420. That's my handle on the old internet. Please check me out over there. I mostly just repost things that Juice says, and sometimes have some thoughts of my own when time allows. Love to see.
We keep him in a closet. Actually, he doesn't come out. He's a robot that he doesn't do anything until there's a Juice's Arthropods sponsored event. Then he comes out all creepy like that. Thank you to everybody that came out today. Again, my name is Juice from Juice's Arthropods. I can be found at Juice's Arthropods on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. I am not on TikTok. Well, I kind of
You're
am,
on TikTok.
I have 45 followers, Sinead. So I am to TikTok what the elderly is to common sense. So hot take. Don't worry, there's no old people watching this.
Don't worry, it's 8:29. No one's listening anymore.
No one's listening anymore. They cut out an hour ago. But please come like and subscribe the video. I have a YouTube as well. Guys, I am so close to 500 subscribers, which is a drop in the bucket compared to Sinead. No. And at 1,000 followers on Instagram, I am going to be doing a giveaway as well. So find me, follow me there. If you liked Unearthed, please hit us up. Thank you so much, Sinead. You've been, I can't think of a better first guest we could have possibly had. You are awesome. And with that, you want to sign us off, Hot Doug?
Good evening, everyone. And we're going to say our Unearthed slogan we always say at the end of every podcast episode that we film. It's a standard between you and I. And we're going to say it at the same time. Ready?
Yep.
It's time for bugs. All right. Good night, everyone.